Have you ever wondered how researchers make sure a survey truly reflects a larger group of people? Understanding sampling methods can help explain how researchers gather reliable information and make better decisions from the data they collect. I'm Daniel with Jotform, and in this video, we will break down quota sampling, how it works, the steps involved, and why researchers use it to create balanced surveys. Let's jump right in. Sampling is an important part of research because it helps researchers study a smaller group instead of an entire population. The goal is to choose a sample that accurately reflects the larger audience being studied. For example, if researchers want to study females in the UK, they do not need to speak to every female in the country. Instead, they need a smaller group that mirrors the larger population across factors like age, ethnicity, region, behavior, and attitudes. If the sample does not match the larger population correctly, bias can affect the results. This is where quota sampling becomes useful because it focuses on matching the proportions found in the full population. Quota sampling is considered a non-probability sampling method because participants are selected based on specific characteristics. Researchers often rely on existing data sources, such as census reports, to determine population breakdowns. In the earlier example, they may discover that different percentages of females live in Scotland, England, Wales, and Northern Ireland. Once researchers know those proportions, they can build a sample that follows the same structure. One way to think about quota sampling is like a funnel. Researchers begin with a large pool of possible participants and filter people based on whether they fit the desired profile. If a study only focuses on females, any male respondents would immediately be screened out. As responses come in, researchers compare the live results to the quotas they established earlier. One column may show the target quotas while another tracks actual responses collected during the survey. If a quota for a certain group becomes full, researchers stop accepting more participants from that category. This process helps keep the final sample balanced and aligned with the population. Quota sampling can be controlled or uncontrolled. Controlled quota sampling uses fixed quotas that must be followed exactly. Uncontrolled quota sampling is more flexible and allows quotas to change as researchers gather more information throughout the study. Researchers usually follow several steps to conduct quota sampling successfully. First, they find reliable research that provides information about the target population. This may include government databases, census reports, or existing commercial research. Researchers must decide whether the source information is trustworthy enough to use for setting quotas. The next step is setting the quotas themselves. Researchers usually focus on factual demographic information because attitudes and behaviors can change over time. For example, people may not accurately report how often they drink alcohol, which could affect the reliability of the data. If another company handles the research, the quotas are often listed in a detailed quota specification. Once the quotas are established, researchers begin collecting survey responses. Some audience groups may respond more quickly than others, which means certain quotas can fill up sooner. Researchers may need to stop collecting responses from those groups while continuing to recruit participants for categories that still need more responses. In some cases, quotas may need adjustments if certain groups are difficult to recruit. Quota sampling offers several benefits. It helps researchers create accurate samples that reflect the proportions of the larger population. It is also convenient because researchers can easily track responses and monitor progress throughout the study. Another advantage is affordability, since surveys can often be conducted online without requiring travel. At the same time, quota sampling has limitations. Some population details may still be overlooked, even when quotas are carefully planned. The method can also introduce bias because researchers make judgment calls when selecting participants. In addition, dividing people into distinct groups can sometimes be difficult because individuals may fit into more than one category. Tools like Jotform can make quota sampling easier to manage. Researchers can create online surveys, monitor responses, and review results through charts and graphs. Conditional logic can also help stop responses from groups that have already reached their quotas. Thanks for watching today. I'm Daniel with Jotform. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you again soon.